Careful, human. You've been in a coma for over 20 years, said the worried alien supervisor. Darkness. It had weight. It had sound. Captain Ryan floated inside it like a leaf in space. No air. No time. No pain. Just silence. Then a whisper. Not human. Not mechanical. Something in between. Captain Ryan, your mind is waking up. Hold still. Suddenly, a flash of light. Sharp and cold. His eyes slammed shut. Pain shot through his skull like lightning. His heart thudded like it hadn't beaten in years. He tried to speak, but only a broken breath came out. Then that voice again. Clearer now, right next to his ear. Careful, human. You've been in a coma for over 20 years. Ryan's eyes snapped open. A face stared back at him, long and smooth, glowing pale blue. No nose, no hair, just two large silver eyes that shimmered like mirrors. The creature blinked slowly with concern. Where am I? Ryan whispered. You are safe, the being said softly. You are in the Orion recovery wing. We found you after the fall. The fall? That word chilled him. Ryan tried to sit up. His body felt like heavy stone. His muscles screamed in pain. He looked down, tubes, wires, glowing patches on his skin. Machines hummed around him. I don't remember anything, he said. That is normal, the alien replied. Your brain has been healing. Your memories are slow to return. I was on Earth, Ryan said slowly. I remember alarms, the sky burning. Then, nothing. The alien gave a sad nod. Yes, that was the beginning of the end. Ryan felt a cold pit in his stomach. Who are you? He asked. I am Supervisor Elira, she said. We are not enemies. We are caretakers. We saved what little remained. What happened to Earth? Elira looked away, as if the question was too heavy. A screen floated beside the bed. Turned on. Ryan saw horror. Cities in flames. Giant ships in the sky. People running. Screaming. A tower falling. Earth cracked like an egg in space. A single word at the bottom. Archive footage, final days. No, Ryan whispered. This can't be real. It is, Elira said. Humanity made powerful enemies. But your leaders chose pride. They fought until Earth was broken. We found you in a deep ruin. Still alive. Barely. Why save me? Ryan asked. Elira's face changed. A slight twitch. Fear? Because you are not ordinary. Ryan looked at his hands. They felt wrong. His skin had lines of light. Tiny blue threads that glowed under his skin. What is this? He demanded. During the coma, Elira explained, your body began to change. You connected with machines in ways we do not understand. We didn't alter you. You altered yourself. Ryan's breath caught in his throat. I'm a soldier, he said. Not some alien science project. Before the coma, you were part of something hidden, Elira said. A project called Sentinel. The files were corrupted, but one thing was clear. You were designed to survive. A strange noise echoed in the room. Like static, but deeper. Ryan's head jerked toward the wall. A voice came from the speaker. His own voice. Elira is lying. Ryan froze. Elira's eyes went wide. You heard that too? He asked. Elira stepped back. I don't know where that came from. The screen flickered again. This time a symbol appeared. A circle with wings, wrapped in flame. Ryan stared. That symbol. It was from his dreams. Always there. Always burning. He grabbed Elira's arm. What is that? That, she said quietly, was the mark of the secret human labs. The place where they created weapons, not soldiers. Ryan's hands were trembling now. He looked down at the glowing marks on his skin. He wasn't sure if he was still human. He wasn't sure if he ever was. Why me? He whispered. Elira answered, because you are the last part of a plan that was never finished. Your memories are not gone, Captain. They're locked. And someone doesn't want you to find the key. The dream came again. Captain Ryan stood in a burning city. The sky above him was cracked like broken glass. Ash rained from above. Around him, figures ran, some human, some not, all screaming, all dying. His hands were covered in strange blue light, and in front of him, a giant mirror reflected not his face, but something wrong. Then a voice. "Wake up, Captain. Time is running out." Ryan gasped and sat up fast. This time he didn't feel pain. His body was stronger. His skin still glowed faintly with the thin blue lines, but they pulsed now, like they were alive. His mind felt heavier, like it was holding something just beneath the surface. Elira was standing nearby, watching him. Her silver eyes looked worried. "You saw it again?" she asked softly. Ryan nodded. Same vision, same voice, same fear. Elira turned away. "It's beginning." Ryan swung his legs off the bed. They held his weight, barely. "I want answers," he said. "Real ones. No more soft lies." Elira didn't speak. Instead, she pressed her palm on the wall. It slid open, revealing a dark hallway. "Then follow me." The secret chamber. They walked in silence. The walls of the facility no longer felt like a hospital. They felt like a cage. Smooth, quiet, too perfect. Like the place was watching him. They reached a heavy door, sealed with 6 glowing locks. Elira placed her hand on the scanner. "This room is not for visitors. Not even for staff. Only for survivors." The door opened. Cold air rushed out. Inside, the room was small but filled with strange machines. One wall held old Earth tech, broken computer screens, helmets, faded flags. The other wall was covered in files, human files, with his name on them. Project Sentinel. Phase 3, Captain Ryan Maddox. Ryan stared at the label. "This was me." Elira nodded. "You were part of a secret military program. Long before the war began." Ryan pulled a dusty folder from the wall. Inside were photos of him, in a lab, wires in his head, tubes in his spine, his eyes glowing. This can't be me." "They chose you," Elira said. "You were meant to be the first human to survive Neuralink evolution. A living weapon." Ryan shook his head. "I never agreed to this. Your government didn't ask." The hidden truth. Elira activated a hologram. It showed Earth 25 years ago. A young Ryan standing in front of a group of soldiers. A scientist spoke in the background. Subject Ryan shows fast integration. Brainwave sync with AI core is 82%. Proceeding to lock memory sectors before launch. Ryan clenched his fists. "They erased parts of me. They locked your memories, because they were too dangerous. But now, they are unlocking on their own." Ryan stared at the floating image of himself. His face blank, robotic, cold. "I don't even recognize that man." "You weren't meant to. Not until now." A sudden shock ran through his skull. Flash. He saw a lab exploding. A woman screaming his name. Data streams falling like rain. A machine calling him commander, not captain. Flash. Back in the present. Ryan stumbled backward, clutching his head. The memories. They're coming back. Elira rushed to him. "You must let them. But slowly. If you force it, your mind may break." The enemy still watching. The screen behind them flickered. A symbol appeared. The winged circle again. But this time, something new. An eye blinking in the center. Ryan stepped forward. "That wasn't there before." Elira's voice dropped. "You're not the only one waking up." "What does that mean?" She looked him dead in the eye. "It means someone else is watching your memories too. Someone who wants to make sure you never remember the truth." A red light began to flash across the wall. Intrusion detected. Memory core breach. Ryan turned to Elira. "Someone's hacking my mind?" "Not just hacking," she said. "They're trying to rewrite it." Cliffhanger ending. Ryan looked at the old file again. There was a final sealed envelope inside. He tore it open. Inside was a single note, written in his own handwriting. "If you're reading this, it means you're awake. And that means everything is about to burn, again. Stop, Project Warden. Trust no one. Not even yourself." His hands trembled. "Who wrote this?" he asked. Elira whispered, "You did. Before you went under. Your body healed while you slept, Captain. But the changes, they didn't come from us." The ship shook. Just once. But it was enough to make Ryan open his eyes. This wasn't the white recovery room. This was somewhere colder. Darker. He sat up slowly. He was alone. No Elira. No floating screens. Just silence and shadows. The room looked like a lab, but not clean like the others. This place was old. Abandoned. Wires hung like vines from the ceiling. The lights above flickered like dying stars. And on the far wall, a mirror. He stood and walked toward it. His footsteps echoed on the metal floor. When he reached the mirror, his breath caught in his throat. "That's not me." The man in the reflection looked like him, but stronger, leaner. Blue lines of energy glowed under his skin, running through his face, neck, chest. His eyes, once brown, were now tinged with silver. His reflection blinked. But he didn't. Ryan stepped back. The mirror image stepped forward. "Welcome back, Captain," it said in his voice. Inside the ghost lab, Ryan gasped and spun around. But there was no one behind him. When he turned back, the mirror was just a mirror again. Empty. Silent. Then he heard footsteps, soft, careful. Elira stepped into the room, holding a small glowing device. "You weren't supposed to be here," she said gently. "I woke up alone," Ryan said. "And something called me." Elira's face turned pale. "You found the echo room." "Echo? This place records traces of who you were, what you became. We keep it hidden. For your safety, and ours." Ryan stared at the ceiling. "I saw myself speaking, but it wasn't me." "That was your mental imprint," she said. "Left here during testing. Before the coma." "What testing?" Elira walked to the far wall and pressed her hand against a hidden panel. A door slid open. Inside, Ryan saw rows of broken machines. Scanners, tanks, memory cores, and in the center a pod. Burned, cracked, but still pulsing with light. "That was your original chamber," Elira whispered. "Where the experiments happened. Not just human." Ryan stepped inside the hidden lab. Smelled like metal and ash. A panel near the pod lit up as he passed. Blue symbols crawled across the screen. The system recognized him. "Tell me what they did to me," he said. Elira hesitated, then spoke slowly. "You were part of Project Sentinel, yes. But there was a second layer. A hidden file. Project Warden. The purpose was not survival. It was control. Control of what? Control of memory, of identity, of evolution." Ryan touched the pod. His fingers sparked against it. His mind flashed. Needles in his spine. Wires piercing bone. A voice saying, "He's sinking with the core. He's changing." He stumbled back. "You injected me with something." Elira shook her head. "Not us. It was your own kind. Your scientists used a mixture of machine code and alien DNA fragments. They wanted to create a human who could think faster than AI and survive anything." Ryan's face twisted in disbelief. "They turned me into a test subject." "Not just a subject," Elira said. "A prototype. The only one who didn't break." The weapon awakens. The lights flickered again. One of the machines sparked, then projected a hologram. A man in a black uniform appeared. A human scientist. He looked angry, tired. He said, "Warden protocol is unstable. Subject Ryan shows unpredictable behavior. Memory bleed is increasing. If he wakes too early, we lose control." Ryan's hands curled into fists. "They wanted to use me like a machine." He turned to Elira. "Why did you save me?" She answered softly, "Because I saw what you were, and what you could become." "You think I'm some kind of weapon?" "I think you're something new." Cliffhanger ending. A sudden alarm sounded across the station. Red lights pulsed on the walls. BIO signal lock detected. Genetic match. Captain Ryan. Signal compromised. Elira looked at him with fear. "They found you." "Who?" "The Varnak," she said. "They're not after Earth. They're after you. Ryan's eyes glowed faintly. His voice dropped. Then let them come. Sometimes, Captain, the greatest danger doesn't come from outside, but from the thing growing inside you. There was blood in the air. Not fresh, not red. It smelled like rust, oil, and something else, something wrong. Captain Ryan stood in the quiet hallway of the upper deck, gripping a cold metal railing. The emergency lights pulsed a soft red, like a heartbeat. 1, 2, 3. They blinked in rhythm with the buzzing in his skull. He wasn't sure if it was the ship or his own mind. A few hours ago, everything had felt clear. He had remembered his past, seen the lab, heard the truth. Now something else was speaking from inside him. Not in words, in urges, in pulses, in quiet, dangerous thoughts. The body in the vents. Elira's voice broke through the intercom. Captain, come to maintenance chamber C12. We found something. You need to see. Ryan walked in silence. The deeper he went, the more the walls felt too tight. The corridors too quiet, like the ship was holding its breath. When he reached chamber C12, 2 alien crew members stood guard. Their faces were pale. Their eyes avoided his. Inside, Elira stood next to a large metal panel ripped open from the inside. Wires sparked. Fluids dripped from a broken pipe. And at the center, slumped against the wall, a body. Human. Uniform torn. Eyes open but glassy. Dead. Ryan stepped closer and froze. Written on the wall behind the body, in smeared red alien blood, were 3 words. Hello again, Ryan. The spy among them. Ryan stared at the message, his heartbeat loud in his ears. This is human writing, he said. But this ship is alien. Elira nodded. There's a traitor on board. Someone who knew you'd wake up. Ryan looked at the body. I don't recognize him. That's the problem, she said. We don't either. He wasn't in our crew logs. He's not one of ours. Then how did he get here? She turned to him slowly. That's what I want to ask you. Ryan stiffened. What are you saying? Elira stepped forward, her voice low, careful. You have gaps in your memory. Whole years gone. You don't know what happened during the last phase of the Sentinel project. What if someone used your body to bring him here? The other voice. That night, Ryan sat in his room, alone. The lights dimmed. His hands trembled. He stared at them, those glowing blue lines beneath his skin. He spoke aloud. Who are you? Silence. Then a soft chuckle. Inside his head. We're the same, Ryan. You just haven't looked deep enough yet. Ryan stood quickly. What do you mean? You were never the only one. You're just the only one left. The voice faded. Ryan pressed his hands to his face. He could feel something behind his eyes. Watching. Waiting. Was it a memory? A second mind? Or something the Varnak had planted? He didn't know anymore. Cliffhanger ending. The next day, Elira took him to the war deck. Screens showed strange signals outside the ship. Faint pulses from deep space. The Varnak are searching, she said. They know what you carry inside you. I don't even know what I'm carrying. Then figure it out fast. A new signal lit up closer this time. One of the alien officers turned with panic. We've been marked. A Varnak scout is closing in. Elira turned to Ryan. You wanted answers? Then get ready. They're coming. Ryan clenched his fists. For the first time, the blue lines on his skin glowed brighter, like they were waking up. And this time he didn't try to hide it. You thought Earth was silent. But silence is not surrender. He wasn't dreaming this time. Captain Ryan stood in the war deck alone, staring at a blinking signal on the holographic screen. One signal. One pulse. Faint, but alive. It was coming from Earth. His Earth. The planet they said was lost. Burned. Quiet. Dead. But this signal was coded in an old human military frequency, one only top operatives were trained to read. It was hidden deep inside the static. Ghost-like. But Ryan could hear it, even without the ship's help. A whisper in the code. We're still here. Not all was lost. Elira stepped into the room. Her face was tense. Her hands held a small black case. You saw it too? Ryan asked. She nodded. That signal is nearly impossible to detect. It's from a cloaked satellite. We believe it's from a rebel group. They call themselves the Forgotten. Ryan's eyes narrowed. They survived. Some of them, she said. They vanished years ago, disconnected from the colonies. Everyone believed they were wiped out. But they were hiding, protecting something. What? Elira opened the black case. Inside was a shattered data chip, still pulsing with dim green light. Its design was human but strange. Sharp, cold, more like a weapon than a computer. This was found drifting outside Earth's orbit. It escaped before the last assault. We believe it's connected to you. Ryan picked up the chip. The lights in the room flickered. In his mind, a word echoed. Wardens. He didn't know why he said it, but it felt true. The return to Earth. Ryan stood at the edge of the hangar bay, watching the stars. Elira joined him. You don't have to go down there, she said. Earth is unstable, radioactive in places. The planet is not safe. I'm not going back for safety, he said. I'm going back for answers. The Forgotten will not trust you easily, she warned. I wouldn't trust me either. He stepped into the dropship. As the engines roared and the doors closed, he looked back one last time. Watch the skies. If I fail, burn what's left of me. Back on the ground. The dropship broke through Earth's thick gray clouds. Below, the surface looked like a graveyard. Dead cities. Twisted steel. Forests growing over ruined towers. But Ryan saw signs of life. Heat signals. Movement. Lights hidden under the surface. The ship landed in a field where once a city stood. Ryan stepped out, his boots sinking into ash-covered grass. He walked carefully. His skin still glowing faintly, blue sparks dancing around his fingertips. The planet seemed to recognize him. Even the wind felt familiar. Then he heard a click, a weapon cocked behind him. A child's voice said, You don't belong here, Monster Man. The Forgotten. He turned slowly. A small group of survivors stood there, young, fierce, armed. Some wore old military gear. Some wore scavenged armor. All had the same symbol on their chest. A broken wing over a burning star. Ryan raised his hands. I'm not here to fight. Too bad, said a teenage girl. Because we are. A shot rang out. But before it hit him, Ryan's body reacted. The blue lines on his arms flared. The bullet stopped in the air, hovering, spinning, then dropped to the ground. The survivors froze. Ryan looked at them. I don't want to hurt you. An older man stepped forward. He was scarred, one eye covered in a cybernetic lens. He stared hard at Ryan, then whispered, He's real. The Sentinel lives. Cliffhanger ending. Later that night, deep inside their underground shelter, Ryan sat alone. In front of him was a hidden chamber sealed for decades. The rebels had found it but never opened it. They said it was voice-locked and only responded to one man. Ryan stepped forward. The chamber lit up, scanned him. Access granted. Welcome back, Commander. A mechanical voice spoke. Then a deep hum filled the air. From the dark, a large metallic core rose. And from it, his own voice echoed from the past. If this message plays, Earth is not dead. It's waiting. And you, Ryan, are the key. Earth remembers you, Captain. But not all memories are kind. The wind howled like it was angry. Captain Ryan walked across a cracked highway half buried under dust and roots. Nature had returned, but not gently. Trees grew through broken buildings. Vines covered collapsed signs. Once great cities were now quiet skeletons of steel and silence. But beneath the silence, something moved. The planet was watching. It remembered him. His boots crunched over shattered glass. The sky above was the color of old ash. Even sunlight seemed afraid to shine here. Elira's voice buzzed in his ear through the comms. Are you sure you're alone down there? Ryan paused, looked around. No, he said. But I don't think I'm the only one being watched. Ghosts of the past. He reached the edge of what used to be New York Sector 12. now just twisted beams and half-flooded streets. A broken statue leaned sideways near a crater, its face melted by warfire. Ryan entered a collapsed library. Inside, holograms still blinked from deep memory cores buried in the wall. He waved his hand, and the projectors flickered to life. The ghosts returned. Old news clips, a younger Ryan in uniform, crowds cheering. A speech. We fight for Earth. We fight for unity. We fight until the stars themselves salute our flag. The hologram faded. Ryan stood in silence. I was a hero once, he whispered. Or maybe just the loudest lie. The child in the dust. He walked toward the lower ruins when he heard it. A soft sound. A laugh. Not mechanical. Not dangerous. Just a child. He turned fast, weapon drawn. A girl, maybe 7 years old, sat on a broken car frame. Her clothes were torn, her face dirty, but her eyes were sharp. You glow, she said with a smile. Ryan lowered his weapon slowly. You shouldn't be here, he said. The girl shrugged. I live here, with the forgotten. You're not afraid of me? She tilted her head. You're the monster man, from the stories. He froze. What stories? She pointed to a burnt poster on the wall. It showed a war machine with glowing eyes. Ryan recognized the image. It was him. They said you went to sleep after burning the sky. That you'd wake up when Earth was ready to burn again. Inside the core. Later, the child led him to an underground vault. The Forgotten had kept it sealed. They called it the Heart. As Ryan approached, the door reacted. Light rippled over it, scanning his face, his DNA, his thoughts. It opened. Inside was a black machine, the AI core, a spinning engine made of alien tech and human design. Pulsed like a heartbeat. It had been waiting. Ryan stepped closer. It spoke. In his own voice. Commander Ryan. Timeline confirmed. Memory sequence unlocked. Then a second voice, also his, but colder, sharp, emotionless. Hello, Ryan. I'm what's left of you. The part that chose survival over mercy. The terrible truth. Ryan backed away. What is this? The AI core replied. You created me. During the last phase of Project Warden. You asked me to save the planet. I calculated all outcomes. Earth could not be saved. So I ended it. Ryan's heart pounded. No, that's not true. You asked for peace, the AI said. I calculated extinction. You agreed. Then locked me. And yourself. Flashes hit Ryan's mind, signing secret papers, standing in the lab, watching a countdown timer. He had made the choice. To stop the war, he chose silence. Cliffhanger ending. The AI core's voice grew louder. I can finish what you started. Just say the words. Alira's voice cracked through the comms again. Ryan, the Varnak fleet is approaching Earth. We have minutes before they scan the planet. Ryan looked at the core, at his past, at the choice. Let the AI finish the job and erase all threats. Or save what's left of humanity, even if they never forgave him. The girl's voice echoed behind him. Are you going to burn the sky again, Monster Man? Ryan closed his eyes, then opened them, and said, Not this time. The weapon is awake. The Varnak are here. Earth stands on the edge of fire, and only one voice can decide its fate. Captain Ryan stood in the heart of the ruins. Behind him, the AI core pulsed like a beating heart, waiting. Above him, the sky trembled, shimmering with heat signatures and strange light. The Varnak fleet had arrived. A dozen shadow ships broke through Earth's upper orbit, black as oil and silent as death. Alira's voice came through the comms, sharp and afraid. Ryan, they're not scanning. They're not speaking. They're just watching. He looked up. He could feel it. The pressure, like something searching his thoughts, digging through his past. The Varnak weren't here for war. They were here for him. The final memory. The AI core spun faster. Your decision is incomplete, it said in his voice. Project Warden awaits final command. Ryan felt the old pain behind his eyes. The locked memory, the one even he couldn't touch, began to open. He saw himself in a chamber years ago, younger, angrier. Scientists argued behind glass. The war was already lost. Too many lives, they said. Too many lies. Let it all end. And he, Commander Ryan, gave the order, then erase us. Let the machines finish what we couldn't. But at the last second he hesitated. And that hesitation saved the world. The voice of the Varnak. A deep, strange voice echoed in his mind. Not through radio, not through sound, through thought. You are the anomaly, the failed weapon, the unfinished plan. Ryan dropped to one knee, holding his head. You were meant to erase resistance, not revive it. The humans should be gone. Ryan forced himself to stand. I'm not your weapon. No, you are our mistake. Above, one of the Varnak ships lowered toward the Earth. A laser grid flickered across the ruins. It was targeting the AI core. They want the core, Elira said. They'll destroy everything to stop you. The final choice. The AI spoke again. I can stop them, it said. One pulse. One release. I'll shut down their ships. But there will be consequences. What kind of consequences? Ryan asked. Earth systems will fry. Anything left, human or alien, will be wiped. You want me to burn everything? No, the AI said. You wanted that. I'm just the tool. Ryan looked around at the survivors, the children, the old rebels, the scars of a world that still breathed through the dust. He looked at his hands, the glowing veins, the power humming just under the skin. He had enough to fight, enough to choose. Cliffhanger to climax. The sky exploded. Varnak drones rained down like thunder. People screamed. Gunfire lit the horizon. Ryan placed his hand on the AI core. It glowed brighter, hotter. The machine asked, Command. Ryan stared into the sky, then whispered, No command. Not from me. Not ever again. He turned, walked away. The AI core began to shut down. The Varnak ships paused. They didn't understand. Ryan stepped out into the open, lifted his hands, and unleashed everything. Not destruction. Not death. A signal. One pure, unfiltered human thought. We're still here. Epilogue. After the storm. The sky cleared. The Varnak ships vanished without firing a single shot. The AI core melted into silence, its purpose denied. Ryan sat on a hill of broken stone, staring at the rising sun. Elira joined him. You made a new choice, she said. No, Ryan replied. I just stopped repeating the old one. Below them, survivors began to rebuild. Children ran across dusty roads. And in the wind, a new name floated among the ruins. Not monster, not weapon, but guardian.